Today's project is this 2000 XR200. It has zero compression. The previous owner had done some stuff like drain the oil, took the timing caps off, loosened the spark plug to try to figure out what's going on, but he couldn't do it, so I got it for a great deal. As soon as I looked at it, I'm pretty sure it has a bent valve, either the intake or exhaust. With that little compression, it probably jumped time. But anyways, let's figure it out. Yeah, let's get into it. The first thing that I'm going to do is power wash this off so we can see what we're doing. Alright, I think that'll do. Now I'm going to go ahead and strip these plastics off so we can see what we're doing. Now I'm going to disconnect and remove the gas tank, so I'm going to turn the fuel off, which it's already off. Okay, now we have her stripped down. I'm going to clean her up a little bit more and we'll be back to do some investigating. Next thing I'm going to do is take this air box off so I can eventually get the carburetor off. Air box cleaner's off. We'll take a look at the air filter. Doesn't look too bad. Definitely not clean, but seen a lot worse. There's no nests in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this carb off. We're pretty much already loose. Like I said, this guy was definitely in here before. Carb's out. Doesn't look too bad, and it's not fake, so that's a good sign. Next up, I'm going after this exhaust, so I'm going to start with this one. There we go, front part of the exhaust is off. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the muffler off. There we go, muffler's off. Now I'm going to remove the timing cover so I can set the engine to top dead center before I do the pressure test, the leak down test. Yeah, these are already loose. I'm guessing it might even be at top dead center. Well, I was kicking it over actually. Timing covers are off. I went ahead and got my 12mm socket and my ratchet. Then I rotated the engine over until I saw the T through the timing hole. And then I took the spark plug out and looked down and made sure the piston was up top so that we were on the correct stroke. So now we can hook up the leak down tester and see exactly which valves are leaking or if it's leaking past the piston rings and what we'll need to do next. Alright, I have it lined up at top dead center. You can see the T in there. I have my leak down tester hooked up. Gonna go ahead and start pressurizing it, and I'm guessing this thing is either gonna be leaking out of one or both valves. I probably won't even have to pressurize it very far. Immediately you can see it's like 100% leakage. Yeah, it's leaking out of both valves. So next I'll take the timing cover caps off and we'll see what's going on there, but pretty sure the head's gonna have to come off. Gonna go ahead and remove these caps and this CDI cover. We're gonna have to go ahead and check and see what the cam lobe looks like. Next on the list is removing this pulse generator. So first I'm gonna follow the white wire up here and disconnect it. Just like that. Pull it through. You can actually just pull it out of that slot, and then you have these two Phillips head screwdriver on each side. Slides right off. Next, I'm going to remove this pulse rotor base. Remove that just like that. Now I'll go ahead and remove this base. Now we can see if it's timed up properly. Alright, I've been looking at this thing and it's pretty much all messed up. It was missing a dowel pin here where the generator is supposed to be. There's a dowel pin that goes under here, you can't see it. The timing mark on this thing is over here by this bolt, so I know the timing is way off. And also, if you can see how much play there is in this side of the chain, and like this side is quite tight, but I don't think there should be that much in it. I was messing with these valves. This valve over here was really loose, so I don't know. I think we're gonna have to take the head off of this thing and check it out further. There's also some pretty nasty stuff in here, so I'm thinking it's gonna need a new cam chain. I decided that I'm gonna go ahead and take this motor out. It's probably gonna need a fair amount of work, and it'll be easier to do it on the table over there. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I took all the motor mounts off. I took the breather off. Took these plates off here. I'm just gonna unplug these. They look like to be same to same, so there we go. Tuck this up out of the way. See if we can get this motor out of here. Here, I'm gonna hold with this ratchet down here while I break these loose up here. Now I'm going to try to get this gear out. There we go. Next thing I'm going to do is going to take this decompression lever off. I'm just going to take the bolt out right here. Slides out just like this. I'm going to put the bolt back. Now I'm going to go ahead and loosen these caps, these 12mm cap nuts, and then these 8mm cam caps. These all have these washers on them. Alright, all the bolts and the nuts are out. This cap, someone definitely sealed this down really good. So what I have here is just a putty knife. And I'm going to go, if I can give you a good angle here. Just going to start it right here. Just go around. Try to go on this side. Yeah, this head doesn't look too bad. I mean, there's not a whole bunch of scoring. I'll have to clean it all up and inspect it, but first impression is it's not too bad. This is screwed all the way out like crazy, so I don't know. We'll have to take a look at everything. Next thing I'm gonna do is take this cam lobe out. Being very careful with it. And with this, I'm just most likely going into the bottom end anyway, but I'll just set this screwdriver here for now. Yeah, here's the cam lobes. Not looking too great, but I need to clean them up so I can inspect them. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this bolt for the cam chain guide. Try to get in here, remove this head, see what's going on. Just as I expected, the intake valve is very bent, and I think the exhaust valve is either out of shim or bent as well. So I don't know, it might be hard for you guys to see it, but it's really bent in there. As you can see, there's definitely some missing carbon here where the piston tapped it. I don't know if there's any cracks here. Probably going to go ahead and take the cylinder off as well. The cylinder wall doesn't look too bad, but I'll have to inspect it and we'll see. But the crank seems okay, which is the most important thing. It's going to go for the cylinder head now. I'll go ahead and take that guide out. Okay, like I said, the cylinder head doesn't look too bad. It's not the best in the world, but I'll clean it up, take a look. I think we could probably do a fresh hone on it and get away with it. The piston looks okay, but I'll have to take it off of there and check it out. Since I know I'm gonna have to pretty much definitely do the timing chain, I'm gonna go ahead and take this flywheel side cover off. Take this off first. There we go. Coils off. Keep moving. I'm going to try to remove this flywheel. It's 12 millimeter. I'm just going to do it with the impact. Nothing to it. Now I need to see if I have a puller for this. Okay, I have my flywheel puller on. Flywheel's off. Alright, we're getting down to it now. Can see definitely where the chain was eating up the cases right there. Gonna try to remove the cam chain tensioner. Now I'm gonna remove this other part of it. Down here, 8 millimeter. Slide this down here. So I'll go ahead and remove this chain now. Slide this out of the way. Just like that. There we go. This side's pretty much ready for new cam chain. We'll go ahead and take the piston off as the last thing we're going to do. Just going to pick this clip out. Hopefully it doesn't fly everywhere. Almost lost it. Okay, now I'm just going to try to push the pin out this way. Easy as that. I'll have to clean all this off. You can see where the valve's tapped, so this thing is a mess, but luckily the parts are cheap and we'll get it back together. Alright, that's going to do it for part 1 of this series. We stripped the top end all the way down to the crank. I've checked that, it's good. We saw the bent valve and the worn cam chain. Once I clean everything up, I'll inspect all the parts, order some new stuff, and then in part 2 we'll start putting everything back together. Thanks for watching. See you next time.